Welcome to the last race of the season for the Euros. As we are green flag here in ARCSOA, Luca X, who's had a lackluster season, will lead us to the green. There were problems with one of the cars before the race even began. No, never mind. You may notice I'm behind a little bit. That was because I forgot to record the audio. Thank the Lord that I remembered. Dan Morton and Alan Everhart are bound for position 5. They look like they have the championship pretty much in hand. They just gotta be conservative because Brandon Lightning is their other rival, and he's pretty far back. This is gonna be a battle between them as they will come through the start of the keyhole, I believe. Yes, they will go through. Here we go into the keyhole. Problems for Dan Morton, and he's gonna get into his teammate Alan Everhart. They both go into the wall. Lightning did go around, I believe. Yes, he did go around as well. So all three Red Stallion cars take a spin. And Higini Pintat could end up winning the championship off of this. If they keep this going, as no, he would not win the championship right now. This is all compared to this is all points. He is 17 points behind. Nickel would need a miracle, so he's pretty much out of this thing. He's a full race behind, but only a full race behind without one-off cars. With one-off cars, it can happen. It could happen. And he's probably going to push to see if he can make it happen. Well, Brandon Lightning still is gaining positions still. Benoit looked at Irvin's having issues as well. Meanwhile, up in the top three, it's all calm. And around, that's Jamal Stallings. Jamal Stallings goes around. Ooh, that's the end of Dan Morton's day, and his championship is done. No, he has not made it impossible. I honestly got Dan Morton mixed up with Vernia. Alan Everhart is only 3 points behind. Brandon Lightning. However, Vernio is only 3 points behind Everhart. Now, Vernio has Morton right on his tail. Morton is out, though. He was 1 point behind, though. So right now, Pintat is your champion. I got Paginello mixed up with Vernio. No, Paginello's the one that needs a miracle. And so does Nickel. But Morton, their first championship threat to Brandon Lightning is out. The more prominent threat is seizing the opportunity, and that would be Higini Pintat. Pintat would probably be more than happy just to let these dudes race in front of him, but no, Pintat has not gotten a win yet. The person that got the win this year was the driver's name that's across his roof. Horkins, speaking of names across roofs, wasn't even supposed to be in the 90 car. That's why you see Leffinen. Jensen Leffinen, the dude in the 26 car right now, was supposed to be in that car. But after Jokey Leffinen got into the Elite Series, he decided not to race because he didn't want to put any pressure on his son to perform. As here we go. But like I said, one of Lightning's threats are now over. Oh, Nickel, you're really getting aggressive here. Dover Jr. Ooh, Travis Scott. And there goes Brandon Lightning. This championship has now gone to Pentat. This is Pentat's to lose. As Brandon Lightning has just gotten into the wall. And this also puts Nickel right back into the mix. Because with that, that takes Alan Everhard right out of it. This puts Everhard right into it. We are back. Like I said, Nickel, like I said, still has a shot. He is only 21 points. He was 21 points behind Brandon Lightning, but now that Lightning's out, this gives Nickel a shot at the championship once again. Now we gotta take a look at the points situation real quick. Yes, Nickel does have a shot. He is 21 points behind Lightning. Lightning's out. So right now in the lead in points is Pentat. This also puts Paginello right back into the mix. But Nickel needs to win as something's happened to Porkins. As you saw in the replay, pretty sure Pentat's gonna have some sort of penalty because that was uncalled for. With Nickel right behind, Nickel needs to win the race, like I said, to win the championship. There's no way out of it. Because he leads a lap, gets a point. Then he needs to win the race. That's another point. There's another few points that he needs. As the 8 has just retired, that is another championship threat out. And that just moves the 32 car right up another position. But the 99 is actually, I think, gaining. The 99, I think, gaining. No, he's not. But right now, that 20th spot could be everything that makes the tie happen. And we just got word that he will have a second penalty. And he might have a penalty. Now if he wins the race, the championship race, which if you look at it, he will. It will be because of that move. And here we are, we're back, not live, but we are back, and ooh, something's wrong. That's Pentat and Nickel. Nickel and Pentat both go around. And I think that's all that Nickel really had. That's all it really, like I said, that's all he had.
soon as this is done.
Meanwhile, up front, it would be Richard Kruger and Luca X who would be battling for positions 1 and 2. These two were both in the German touring car machine series. German touring wagon machine series. So they both know how to get through some technical sections. Then you have Zessel Dormitory, who I don't really have much to say about. Higini Pentat, who came in for Vernio. You have AJ Nickel, Matteo Cherry, Seth Rawls. Jensen Lifferman. Welcome back. We're looking at Seth Rawls because he spun out and would end Bendover Jr.'s miracle run. I wouldn't say miracle run, but certainly unusual to see a one-off car do so well. Welcome back. Your leader is still Luca X, and second place is still Richard Kruger. The two GTM drivers, as they are approaching the lap traffic of Benoit Lefebvre, who got into a wreck early on into the race. As the Locomoly car is trying to stay in front of the DHL car. That is not an unfamiliar sight, as those are two sponsors when they were in GTM series. So expect that to be a recurring theme maybe next year, because they're both in their cars for next year. Because those two teams plan to return next season. The Kruger Racing Adventures team and the Kruger Racing Adventures team and Team Flame may return. But not may, will return. Why were those two in doubt? Well, we're switching car bodies next year to a heavier touring car, really. The GTM series is going out of business. And we're just leeches over here in the Euros. So we're going to latch on to anything that we can get. And these touring cars did call for some good racing over there in Germany and all the rest of Europe. Don't expect Monaco to be on the schedule though. Monaco probably won't be on the schedule. They're not gonna, and they're only using the Elite Series. Also, another track that's going to be off the schedule is Portugal, because that was bad. They just decided, you know what, these drivers can't handle Estoril, so we're not going to come here again. Sayonara, see you later. As Kruger and Luca X seem to have this race under control, I mean. As Luca X is going to try to pass his teammate. Maybe his teammate will try to block, but I doubt that, because Luca X loves to battle with people. Richard Kruger loves to battle with people. Also, earlier on in the season, in the silly season, we accidentally mislabeled Luca X as from the Netherlands. He is not from the Netherlands. He is Belgian. Richard Krieger, however, is German. Brandon Lightning looks like he's going to lose this championship to Higini Pintat and Tripantakio Vernio. Now, Higini Pintat, may I remind you guys, Higini Pintat has not been doing nothing this whole time. He's been racing, if you want to be honest, he's racing more brutal of a schedule, racing the newly formed endurance series, which happens every few weeks. So as you would imagine, he was tired out from an endurance race. The Euros officials decide we're gonna decide, hey, it's okay, we're just gonna let him since he looks a little more worn out. This is at Mallory Park. They allowed CJ Racing to transfer the points they got from Vernio to Pintat. So Pintat's won a race in the endurance series. However, it took him a little too long to get by Zesselt Dormitory. So it's really just a battle between Luca X and Richard Krieger as they are approaching lap traffic. The lap traffic of Brandon Lightning. Lightning has been solid and consistent all year long, up to the last race. Up to the last few races, really. He did not have such a strong showing at Euro Speedway for the year 250. He did not have his strongest showing, like I said. And he has not had it here. He didn't have it in Mallory Park either, which was really surprising because that was the first time we saw him not in the top 10. Now here's a surprise. Here's a surprise really that no one probably thought would do well. Because this team is a developmental team. The Mazda Developmental Program. This team is based out of not Birmingham. Oh man, I almost screwed up there. They're based out of Japan. So they're a long ways from home. And then you have William Brock. William Brock's team, he's in the elites. His team hasn't had the best year either. They've had a strong... The only driver that's really done well is Matteo De Ocampo, who had a strong showing in Ireland and then fell off after that. Matheus Tarantino is if you watch the Lights series, a familiar name. Tarantino is driving for the BFM team, and since Lexus is essentially a part of Toyota, he was allowed to drive this car. He attracted all this sponsorship that you see on the car before the season began. Now, if you guys remember Gideon Geiger's car, they only had Whirlpool on there, because Whirlpool loves Gideon Geiger's. I think people don't get that. They love Gideon Geiger's. They will not leave them for the world. And the Fuel Brothers car was already paid, and they already had like all these sponsors on it. So they were like, "Can we have it?" And They bought it from Fuel Brothers Racing, and now Tarantino, just as I was speaking good about the team, goes off and hits the wall. He does have a lot of space to work with between him and Marty McGee. Bendover Jr. is also, despite having an earlier off-road adventure, is doing good. Meanwhile, Rickard Kruger is right behind. And there is your champion, probably, if Alan Eberhard does not get too many more positions. His closest threat, Dan Morton, is out. Dan Morton's out. The 8 of Paginello, who had a shot, he was 10 points behind. He had to be 10 positions ahead of Brandon Lightning. He had to be 10 points of positions, not points. Why do I keep saying points? I guess it is points and positions. He had to be 10 points ahead of Brandon Lightning, and points, and it's 1 point per position. Here comes Luca X off the last corner, and Luca X will win his first ever race. And now coming off the last corner, Higini Pintat will win the ARCSOA Europe Series Championship. Higini Pintat's an endurance racer from Andorra. He always loved racing, so he moved to Spain when he was 5 to begin pursuing a career in racing. He then moved to America when he was 18. And now he came back to Europe and he has won a championship. They allowed Higini to race only because and take Bernio's points because he was an endurance racer and taken such a toll. They didn't think he'd win the championship. Well, now he comes home to Andorra saying that he is a champion.